Hello, jet setters. I'm Jeb Brooks from greenergrass.com. I've come to Raleigh, North Carolina to understand how airports and airlines are making it safe for you to fly.
Today, I'm flying from Raleigh Durham International Airport to Dallas, Texas. This American Airlines flight will take 2.5 hours at 38,000 feet aboard a 737. I'll be in first class, and I'm lucky enough to have been granted unprecedented access in order to show you exactly what the aviation industry is doing to restore your confidence in stepping on board. Passengers traveling through RDU barely touch anything. Thanks to the airport's innovative touchless parking system, passengers can pre-book their parking, enter the deck, and pay without ever coming into contact with any surface. RDU's Terminal 2 is beautiful and reminds me of the last time I was here. That was for American's final Super 80 flight from here. That was just over a year ago, but it feels like a lifetime. Would you want to see more of RDU and maybe even get a sense of how this airport works behind the scenes? If you do, leave me a comment. Let me know. Check-in kiosks are now arranged to increase social distance. But that touchless experience continues with check-in as well. If you don't want to use a kiosk, you don't have to. Thanks to American's app, I was able to begin my trip without using one. Health screening questions are built into the check-in process, no matter how you do it, and ticket agents are available to help. They're just behind plexiglass barriers here at RDU. Now, the TSA process hasn't changed much, but you will have to remove your mask for a quick identity check. This is the only time, other than when eating, that it's okay to remove your face covering. From what I saw, nearly everyone complied. Passengers don't even have to touch menus in order to order from one of the airport's many restaurants. QR codes link to websites where ordering and payment are taken care of. A quick stroll through the terminal reveals just how many restaurants and shops are open here. Local options are available at RDU. It's a nice way to get a flavor for North Carolina if you're leaving or just passing through. The American Airlines Admirals Club here at RDU is open as a customer service center, but not as a club, so no need to visit today. Soon, though, our inbound aircraft arrived. I connected with the teams at RDU and American Airlines about boarding early in order to share with you how they clean these airplanes. It's important to note, in accordance with my sponsorship policy, which is available at greenergrass.com, I paid for my ticket, and my opinions, as always, are my own. Before the last passenger was even off the plane, the cleaning crew were on board. They're a contracted partner of American and are tasked with cleaning every surface a passenger might come in contact with. They were focused and hardworking. They were on a mission and nothing would distract them. In fact, if they were ever to switch jobs, I think they could hop on the soon-to-return RDU to Heathrow flight and get a job guarding Buckingham Palace. Everything, even the seat belts, were cleaned. They were overseen by an American Airlines manager who went behind them at every step and had the authority to delay the flight if it wasn't cleaned to her satisfaction. According to the Centers for Disease Control, because of how air circulates and is filtered on airplanes, most viruses don't spread easily on flights. The air on today's commercial aircraft is replaced with clean, fresh air every 2 to 3 minutes, and the filters on board trap 99.99% of particles. Further, everyone is facing the same direction, not toward each other. All passengers are required to wear face coverings, and the air blows downward. In other words, while nothing is absolutely safe in these uncertain times, air travel is relatively low risk. Confident in the knowledge the airplane would be clean, I returned to the gate area. Unfortunately, due to weather in Dallas, our departure was delayed a bit. Soon, though, we boarded. And I'm sorry this isn't smell tube. The airplane practically had that new plane smell. The crew did a great job. This process worked. Every surface was clean and sparkling. But we faced another delay. On our ride over to RDU from my home in Greensboro earlier that day, we noticed a motorcade traveling in the opposite direction on the highway. You see, here in the United States, it's campaign season. North Carolina is a hotly contested state, which means we get our share of politicians. And when the president, or in this case, vice president, travels through an airport, that airport shuts down. And just as we were ready to push back, the vice president was back on his plane and ready to leave too. He takes priority, and we got to see a C-32, modified 757 known as Air Force Two, depart. If you like travel and aviation, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're among the first to know when I publish new videos. Soon, we were pushing back and on our way to Dallas. The tray table was large, sturdy, and clean. Plugs were available at each seat. There's even a drinks table right here. As we boarded, passengers were given a bag containing snacks and a cleaning wipe. Hardly necessary thanks to the efforts of the crew, but nice to have nonetheless. In-flight entertainment was available on this screen, and there was plenty to see, including, of course, an excellent moving map. There are also a lot of movies. I watched A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which was not what I expected at all. I recommend it. Flight attendants came around the first-class cabin. They offered a cheese tray or a turkey sandwich. Drinks, including alcohol, were also available. While it wasn't the traditional meal you might have expected in a previous lifetime, it was a welcome treat on this 2.5-hour flight. I was so impressed with this feature of the IFE that allowed passengers to preview their connection. Unfortunately, it was wrong. Our arrival gate had changed. Overall, I was impressed with the seriousness with which the ground crew took the cleaning process. I don't think the presence of my camera had any impact on them at all. They were just too busy. They were so focused on cleaning a large aircraft in a short period of time that they didn't even seem to notice me. The cabin crew were also very impressive with the way they had adapted to the new way of doing things in the air. Now, I've had several flights with a number of airlines in the past few months, and although I'm no doctor, epidemiologist, or virologist, my sense is that airports and airlines really have our backs. Nothing in today's world is without risk. Believe me, I'm a recovering lawyer. But in my experience, aviation has gotten an unfair rap. If you need to travel, and you can do so in a safe way, that's practicing social distancing on the ground, emphasizing hygiene, wearing a face covering, I believe you can be confident in the part that airports and airlines are playing to keep you safe. Between now and the next time, see you in the sky.